Okay, we're doing our valve adjustment finally. It takes all day to get to the point we can do it. Okay, first thing I do is make sure we're at top dead center. So we use a Phillips screwdriver. Because if you use a straight blade screwdriver, the tip might break off and be inside your motor. If this bends, it usually doesn't break, it just bends. So just move this up to top center, which is right there. See my finger quit moving? Kind of out of view. A little lower down here. Okay, I got these fancy dancy push rod retaining devices. Some people might recognize what they are. Okay, go ahead and adjust these down to where you just touch. Okay, I read the S&S instructions, and they want you to go down 4 turns. So that's 24 flats, because you got 6 flats to a turn, times 4 is 24 flats. So you go ahead and hold the push rod with your 1 wrench, kind of blocked by the retention device there. And then we go ahead and adjust the bottom one down 24. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. Then you bring the lock nut down, switch this to the bottom, you take the top one and you tighten. If you put the wrenches right, you just squeeze like this with your hand. This being a flat nut, I make sure I squeeze extra tight. And it helps to have good wrenches. Okay, now these lifters are dry. See, they go up and down by hand. So I don't have to worry about them bleeding down, waiting for them to bleed down. Okay, now the other one over here, we haven't done it yet. I'll keep that up out of the way. Figure out how I'm going to get in to hold this. And you want to make sure that you are up on the push rod ball socket up on the top. And make sure you're in the lower one also, so you can wiggle it around until you drop into the hole. Okay, once you're there, you're at 0 lash. Then we do the same 24 again. Turn it a little bit so I can get to it. Okay, same deal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, see, you might be able to reach in and get your fingers, but it works better just to use the wrench to keep track. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. I think that was 24. Unless I missed one. One's not going to make any difference. Okay, and you go ahead and tighten these up again. And tighten them good and tight. That one's in there. This one's loose already. And I can go up and down with it. So make sure the rockers are free up on the top. So, no binding. So we're good. Okay, now we go ahead and turn the motor over. Now the way you know on the correct stroke is, see, these ones over here will be spinning, will be moving. And let me show what happens when you do things wrong. Okay, first thing we do is we get need a longer screwdriver so you can see. Put the Phillips in the screwdriver, in the spark plug hole. Pull this back a little bit. And you stand it upright as much as you can. And you rotate your motor. See how it's dropping? So we go until it's all the way up. Make sure it doesn't bind up when you start coming up. Start to bind on me, so to recenter it. Okay, we're all the way up right now. Now if we go ahead and adjust these right now for 0 lash. See, right now they're adjusted for 0 lash, but we're on the wrong stroke. We're on the overlap stroke. So now we go ahead and turn the motor over. 1 turn. Oh, what happened? What is going on here? We have hard contact on something. What's not moving? Clunk. Something is not right. See how loose the push rods are right now? That's because I adjusted on the wrong stroke. There's something else is going on here. Not sure what the problem was here. Am I just feeling the valves opening, or? Yeah, okay. Okay, I'll show you what's going on here. These valve springs are so stiff. Damn it. Okay, if you look at the two clips right here. Go the other direction. Now watch the clips here. See right there, I hit a hard stop. You hear the motor go and stop. Now watch this valve start to open. I'm working the rockers with what I was feeling. But you got to be careful because you can bend the valve with less than half that pressure. Okay, so I always feel something kind of weird. I stop, figure out what the problem is. So the camera kind of slows me down because I'm paying attention to other things. Okay, let's get back to what we're doing over here. Okay, our spark plug, our screwdriver's coming up, top center over here. Okay, see how I just went past, so I come back just a little bit, right there. Now, notice how these push rods are nice and loose right now. See how loose they are? That's because we were on the wrong stroke. We were on the overlap stroke, which means both valves are open. So if you adjust your valves at this point, this will be a tremendous amount of valve noise in your motor when you're running it. And actually these things will start popping out and you can actually blow them out the side of your push rod covers. So, very important that you make sure you're on the correct stroke when you're doing that. So what you do is you always look at the lifters, and when the lifters quit moving, on whichever cylinder you're on, the next time up is your compression stroke, not the overlap stroke. Okay, right now these O-rings don't want to slide up for whatever reason, so slide those up, let the inner covers come down a little bit. Hey. Everything's fighting me tonight, isn't it? Another hour will be tomorrow, maybe be better. Okay. Okay, those are up out of the way now. Now I got some room to work. They were fighting me there. Okay, so now you can see where we're at for clearances. So make sure we're up here in the up in the ball socket up on top. Make sure we're in the ball socket on the bottom, right there. And we go ahead and do our 24 flats. So this time here I'm going to hold it with my other hand. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Bring the nut down. Now when you tighten these up, you actually lose about a half to a full flat, but it doesn't matter, we're close enough. Okay, that one's tight now, and just like before, the lifter's bled, doesn't have any oil in it, so it goes up and down easily. Okay, now you notice I work just as good with my left and my right hand. Years of experience. Okay, make sure that one's up in the ball socket, just like we did before. Bring this one down until we touch, and we're at 0. And we go ahead and do the other one. So I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Now on Harley lifters you only go 18 flats. So S&S are different. Okay, and you squeeze them and you're tight. And see the push rod actually dropped out. See how it popped back up. It pops out of the ball socket up there. So there's no pressure on it yet. Okay, so that's how you do that. Now we can't check for total valve to valve clearance when you're going around because we have so much clearance in these push rods. There's no real check here. They're collapsing. So we'll go ahead and just spin the motor around, make sure everything's good. But little they do open up. So up here you can see the rocker arms working. Turn the camera around. Well, which one's we on? Yeah, we're on the other cylinder. Blow this back a little bit. There you go. See how those work, and then this one here comes up right after it. So everything's working good. You can hear the motor breathing. So it tells you the rings are working already a little bit. Alright, so the next thing is we got to put the push rod cover clips on. Because we got everything else is done now on the push rods. So the way I do that is, I need to go get me a screwdriver that I can use, so let me go find that. Okay, we're back. Okay, here's the S&S clip. These ones I had to get a special screwdriver made up. Normally I like this screwdriver here. The clip just slides right down it real nice, but with the S&S clip here, the slot is too wide. Screwdriver's too wide to go in the slot. Slot ain't wide enough. Yep, pull that back a little bit. The big screwdriver has the same problem. It's too fat to get in there. Skinny screwdrivers like this go in here, and all they do is they basically cut the darn clip up. So I went and made one here that's only this wide, which is exactly what we need, so it slides down real nice and easy. So let me go make it, like a lot of the tools around here. Okay, so the way you do this is, first thing you gotta do is get the inner one up in there. You make sure it goes up in there correctly. Didn't quite feel right, but I'm in the wrong angle. Okay, then you get the bottom one in. Okay. Then you take your clip, stuff it all the way. You hit against the push rod tube and go all the way up. Then you take your screwdriver, stick it on there like that, go down a little bit, and just push it with your thumb and work it in like that. Then you take the whole assembly and you rotate it back and forth a couple times. This is really tight. And that will center the O-rings up, so hopefully they won't leak. Now if you forget to put the inner tube up, and just put the clip up in there, like that, they leak like a sieve. I've seen that done several times. So that is not the correct way of doing it. So go ahead and get it up inside the O-ring. Get our lower O-ring there. Shove the middle piece down. Same deal, clip hits the tube. Shove it up. Take the screwdriver. Just go like that and clip it in. You kind of work the screwdriver back and forth a little bit. And shove it all in helps. Now you don't have a little tab up here like the Harley ones are to help rotate, so it's kind of hard to rotate this one. There, got to move a little bit. So that's how that works. Now if your mid cover hits on the fins back there, you're going to have to take two screwdrivers and walk it down like this, one on each side of the tube until it drops all the way down. Then slip it in there. little bit more difficult. So this one here, we'll try this one here. Let me blow it up a little bit more. Maybe we'll see a little bit better, maybe. Not sure how good you saw it last time. Now you want to make sure it's inside the O-ring, otherwise it can cut it in half and you'll have a leak again. Push everything in. Rotate it. Okay. One more time. See how I just kind of rotate as I go up. Same on the bottom. Now if I put a little bit of oil on there, it would help a little bit. The O-rings are dry right now, which makes it a little bit harder to do, but no big deal. Now, some people have a problem with these things popping out. I've never had one pop out yet on any of my race bikes. The only time they're going to pop out is if you got something made wrong. There's not enough undercut or wrong diameters or something else is wrong. Okay, so that's how you do that. So next thing is the rocker boxes. So get the rest of the stuff for that.